Welcome to Recently Logged, where a couple of homeschoolers watched The Matrix for the first time. Well, hello guys. It's us.
I'm tired.
We're back.
I don't know why I'm so tired today.
I mean, I don't know.
It's like 10 o'clock. I shouldn't be tired.
Wait, is it already 10? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, yeah. I think we're both tired, actually. I'm just apparently not as tired. I don't know why. We don't know why. It's a podcast of mystery, Micah. Mystery and intrigue. To an extent.
Yes. This week we're doing a What We Watched episode, which we haven't done in a while.
We haven't done all season.
For those of you who don't know, we simply just, kind of like we do at the end of most of our episodes, where we go over what we watched, except for we can do it a little bit more in depth because we've got time, so we can talk about a bunch of different, maybe new movies we've seen.
Yeah, it's essentially just the last segment of our normal episode, but stretched out to 40 minutes or something. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, so our last episode released on the 15th, I believe.
Yes, the 15th.
So we're going to be covering everything from, I guess, the 15th, technically. Technically the 15th, though. If we had watched something, then it would be on here.
Okay.
15th to whatever today is, the 22nd. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about all the movies, since we log all the movies.
All of mine fit onto one screen.
Mine almost do, not quite.
Yeah.
But yeah, we watched. We did our last episode on WandaVision. Usually we would be like, oh yeah, that's what we logged last, and we'd have a jumping off point to start, but we didn't watch WandaVision for the episode, so.
Well, we didn't watch it then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We didn't watch it the night before for the episode like we usually do.
Yeah.
But the day after we released the episode, we watched the 1940 film Gaslight, based off of a play by the same name.
And it kind of sucked.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why this has a 3.6 average.
Right?
On Letterboxd.
That's so high.
I mean, the final, the third act of it is actually really fantastic and really well staged, but the entire first two acts are just really kind of a drag to get through, I think.
No, this movie sucks to watch so much. They could have made it interesting in some way, but because there's nothing really propelling the story, because they kind of they play themselves as oh, it's a mystery, but also have it going from both perspectives, but mostly with what's-her-face. So with what's-her-face, you have her and this guy just trying to drive her insane, and I feel like they want you to think that maybe she is insane, but everybody knows, the audience knows that she's not.
Well, you don't know that for sure.
Yes, you do.
I mean, it's pretty, yeah, I guess, but still,
So, half the time, this movie is just super annoying, as it's oh, how could she do this? She's so crazy, and he's yelling at her and obviously planting stuff, and
he's gaslighting her, Mike.
He's gaslighting her.
Which I found out that the play is actually where the term gaslighting came from. So that was the origin of the term, which I had no clue. Cool. I was like, what? Because I was cool, I was like, wait a minute, this movie's just this guy gaslighting her, and then and I'm I wonder if that's where it came from. And then I looked and I'm it's from the play. I'm what?
That's funny. But yeah, just because I don't know, this movie was so not fun to watch in the slightest, because 90% of it was just him gaslighting her, and us in the audience knowing that, and just being well, can't wait for something to happen.
I mean, it like I said, in my opinion, it has a really nice catharsis at the end, with all of the especially the final scene is really great, but just the first two acts, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I thought the ending was okay.
And it has the red shoes guy.
I don't know. I don't think it builds up to like, like its mystery side of things with the side that's not like the two of them with what's his face and
the police officer guy.
Yeah, the police officer guy and the, what was it, Rubies?
Oh yeah. Well, that's like the main.
Well, yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like it needed to be more in order to, like, I think it needed to be center stage more to be able to drive the plot, because instead we're just like, well, here we are in the scene.
Well, I mean, there's a reason they opened the movie with the killing and heist in the first place, is to make it that the narrative focus, but it just kind of, it doesn't.
They don't use that to drive it.
I was about to say, it doesn't incorporate back into like the next two acts very well.
You open up with that killing, like, which is very random. I didn't know what to expect from this movie. So like, you just open up with somebody dying, and like, okay, this is gonna be like a serial killer movie or something, and then
no,
then it just drops it, and you just have this guy yelling at this lady.
But like I said, the third act brings that back, and like I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, like the third act was fine, but I don't know. I wouldn't watch this movie again.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't.
Dang it, it's only 84 minutes.
I want to watch the newer version of it. I don't remember what year it was, but the one with Ingrid Bergman.
I think it's 41. I think they came out like that close to each other.
Wow. But yeah, I want to watch that one because I'm hoping they fixed some of the problems with the screenplay of the older one. Plus, I like Ingrid Bergman, but who doesn't?
Oh, no, it's 44. So 4 years later.
Yeah, no, I really want to see that one. But yeah, no, it wasn't great. I still gave it a like because, I mean, it was fine, I guess, but not great.
I gave it 2.5 and no like.
Micah. And then, I guess that same day, later on, we watched Long Way North, which is a 2015 French movie. I want to say French. Yes.
Unfortunately, we could not watch it in its French version.
Yeah, we watched the American dub, so I always feel a lot less qualified to talk about something if I watched a dubbed version of it.
Right.
And the dub on this wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't, like, unbearable, but it wasn't great.
But, you know, I still don't think, like, beyond, like, the voice acting in the dub, I really didn't think the movie was that great, honestly. I don't know, I feel like it fell short in a lot of ways for me.
I mean, its screenplay is a little underwhelming in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, it's an adventure movie, but, like, I don't know, it lacks a bit of that oomph.
It lacks adventure.
Yeah. The main reason I liked this movie so much, which I was digging it a lot, and if it had been a bit more compelling in its third act, I probably would have it like in one of my favorites lists, you know. I just really, really loved the animation in it.
Wow.
Like this is the style of animation that I want to do, because I do want to make something animated at some point. And this is definitely, like, this is almost exactly how I would want to animate something if I ever got the chance to animate something.
Yeah, the animation,
it's really fine, beautiful.
But like, the story goes nowhere.
I mean, yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a book where it's just more of like a journey.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have like, I mean, it does have a beginning and an end.
It's like Ice Age if they didn't use a montage.
Exactly. It's like Ice Age. No, that's it. I mean, kind of, but like, no, that's not a great comparison. But sure, I see what you're going for.
It's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like every time I thought you'd get going into what was like, you know, a very adventure movie, you know. You get your jumping off point, and I never once got that feeling of like belongingness with the character, you know? Like usually in an adventure movie, the character goes on this adventure and starts to like find themselves, and like it starts to really get into the crew and like everything. On like this specific kind of adventure, I felt nothing about anybody on the crew, and it just kind of felt like she was just there, never connecting with anybody, just waiting.
I could see that, I guess. Like I said, its screenplay is a bit lacking. And like, I do appreciate the narrative they were going for, like the whole lost father thing.
Grandfather.
Oh, true. But like, yeah, it's just not a great screenplay, unfortunately. Yeah, the animation is really nice.
Yeah, like even that setup with what's his face never even comes back into like play.
Yeah.
She just leaves and then gets on a boat and then goes to Antarctica and then goes back.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another movie that kind of feels like this, but I can't really like pinpoint something. I know I've seen something
like
else
it wants
like
to be an adventure movie, but it really just doesn't have any oomph.
Yeah, exactly. It's just lacking that certain something. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I still thought it was okay, and you know the animation was pretty good, but like the story being kind of meh mixed with the not very good dub made the experience quite a bit less than I wish it would have been. Like I want to watch the French version before I fully am like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Because like who knows, some of the performances might make up for some of the lack of character.
Yeah.
In the French version. So, but I still really liked it, even though I have some problems with it.
Yeah, I gave it 3 stars and a like though, because like I enjoyed it. It just wasn't very good in my opinion, Like it was fine.
I would take it over like something like Song of the Sea, which is kind of in the same vein.
Dang. Song of the Sea is so good.
I mean, Song of the Sea is really good, but like...
What the heck? Song of the Sea?
Yeah.
What? How could you...
I told you I really liked this.
You said you really liked the animation, bro.
Well, yeah.
This is so underwhelming, and you would take it over Song of the Sea just on animation?
Well, Song of the Sea, it also... I don't know. I don't connect to Song of the Sea nearly as much as this one.
Connect to what in this? There's no connections.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know what, Micah? Can I not just prefer Long Way North over Song of the Sea?
You can, but that's trash.
Wow. And then I guess, was it late that night? Or, yeah, I guess...
It was late that night.
Yeah. So we watched 3 movies that day. And it was the third one that we watched at, like, I guess, like 1 a.m. or something, was The Quick and the Dead, which is a good 1 a.m. movie.
Right?
It'll keep you up.
This was a rewatch. We had only seen it one time before. And, The Quick and the Dead. It's very good.
I feel like we talked about it when we watched it.
Probably.
Like in that segment. I don't know what week it was. But yeah.
Sam Raimi directing a Western is a very positive thing.
Very good idea, apparently.
I like this movie better than I like any of the Spider-Man movies, for sure.
I need to watch Spider-Man one more time, because I like the first Spider-Man movie the best out of any of Raimi's movies I've seen. But this is so close to dethroning that for number 1. I really love The Quick and the Dead.
Right. So like your common Western has all of these elements that make it like aesthetically cool, right? And it's there and it's there, but then it's cool. Just kind of like, usually a lot of Westerns, especially older Westerns, are going to be like, oh, gonna wait around, gotta wait and wait and wait, and usually 90% of the movie is just waiting around, and then you have like a gunfight or like somebody comes to town or something. And that's what happens in your movie, right? Or like even something like Silverado, it's a whole lot of waiting, and then they all get together and do a big gunfight. Or Quigley, a bunch of waiting, and then walking around, and then they all get together for a big gunfight. But unlike all of these other Westerns that I've seen, The Quick and the Dead is just so fast-paced.
It has such good narrative momentum, man. And the planning of the, like, gunfight in the town, it propels the narrative so well throughout the entire thing.
Right. It's so good. Like, it's so much better than probably any other Western I've seen.
Oh, it's definitely my favorite Western.
It's my favorite Western by far. But, like, dang, like, everything about this is, like, because I love Westerns, but, like, most of the time Westerns, I'm like, yeah, you gotta be in quite a mood to watch these because, like, woof, they're kind of boring a lot of times.
Yeah.
But like this is just like so the opposite. Not once do you get bored with this movie. It's constantly doing something.
Especially watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a wild time. I mean, like, it held up, obviously, on a second viewing. But, like, watching it for the first time was really great.
Yeah. And you have, like, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen Sharon Stone in anything else.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. But, like, you have, like, Russell Crowe and DiCaprio and, like, just this really good cast for this stuff that, like, they're all, like, extremely charismatic, even, like, Sharon Stone and what's-his-face, Gene Hackman. And, like, just all the characters really, really work well with their characters. So you have these really, like, stylized characters, and you have the way that they film all of this, and it's just so good.
Gene Hackman gives a great performance in this, man.
Right?
He's killing it.
And also, another thing that's great about this movie is the way they actually film, like, the guns, because, like, a lot of Westerns don't think guns look awesome, like, especially Old West guns. And this movie knows that they do.
This movie knows that old guns have they just look really cool.
Right? They just have a really, like, nice aesthetic going, so, like, they film the guns specifically very nice.
Yeah. This is probably the most wild I've seen Sam Raimi at, which I know this isn't as wild as he goes. With something like The Evil Dead is obviously a bit more experimental than this is. But, like, I have to say I do like Sam Raimi's more, like, manic style than in the Spider-Man movies, where it's a bit more controlled,
right,
and locked down.
Yeah, I don't know. This feels a whole lot more like woo.
Exactly, yeah.
Than Spider-Man ever does.
But yeah, no. In short, we really liked The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah, I gave it 4.5 stars. I still can't justify giving it 5 stars every time I watch it. I don't know why specifically. There's just, like, something missing.
I'm very tempted. I might slot it into my top 20 one of these days. It might go in there. We'll have to see.
It would definitely beat the Fits for me.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you want to see my top 20 films, you can go to my Letterboxd profile and check them out. It's pretty cool.
Later the next day, but technically the same day.
Okay, so we watched Quick and the Dead. We finished it on the 17th. Like at 2 a.m. or something. And then after that, we watched
Muppet Treasure Island, which is a very good movie.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
It's probably honestly, like, my second favorite Muppets movie.
I was about to say, I don't know if I'd say my favorite.
It can't beat
movie.
Muppets 2011.
Muppets 2011 is so much fun, man.
But like, especially from, like, older Muppets, this is definitely probably my favorite.
I really want to see the original Muppets movie, like just the Muppets movie from like the 90s or something. I think it's 97. And then I can truly decide on what my favorite old Muppet movie is.
I think that's really the only Muppet movie we haven't seen. It's just the original.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah,
just about. We have seen a lot of the really weird ones,
right? Like,
have you seen Kermit's Swamp Years?
See, that's one that I haven't seen, but I've seen, like,
that's not really like an older one.
I've seen the Gonzo and the Muppets in Space one, the Muppets Take Manhattan one. I've seen the Muppets.
Which one?
Fairy Tale one.
Oh yeah.
Just, like, a bunch of the older, like, Muppet, like, obscure movies.
Like the 90s Muppets.
But I haven't seen, like, the Muppets.
But yeah, Muppet Treasure Island. This was technically my second time watching it. But, like,
I think you've seen it more than
the
twice.
The first time I watched it, or at least the last time I could remember watching it, like, I didn't really remember it that well.
I think you've seen it more than twice.
It probably, but, like, I don't know. I basically went into it blind. I really didn't remember it that well. But I especially I really liked the first 20 minutes of it. Like, that was really good. It kind of falls off a little bit from there, but it's still, like, a really fun movie.
Yeah, there's definitely some moments in it that's like,
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like, it's dragging a little.
I think a lot of it actually is the book Treasure Island. Because
exactly.
if you've read Treasure Island, it definitely, because, it's a book.
Yeah.
And it can do that. It slows down a lot once the journey starts.
I was about to say, once the moment they cast off, the movie just it goes from like a 9 to like a 7.
Yeah. Which, I mean, even like the book, the book itself, it just takes a long time on that.
Yeah.
And I feel like they could have had more to propel in this, like maybe setting up more stuff. Like, they had like the setup of like, wow, this crew looks really suspect.
The crew's looking sus, Mike.
But they had like nothing else. They're like, well, there's that, and then they just kind of have, and then like, I would have loved some more, like, and I know we get the Cabin Fever song, but like some more fun Muppet antics.
Yeah, I was about to say that Cabin Fever sequence is really good.
Like the Cabin Fever sequence, and you have the Muppet torture sequence, which is funny.
Yeah.
But like, you don't have much on the ship. And like the two things that make this like this specific story has going for it are Muppets themselves and the relationship between Jim and Silver, because
Jim and Tim Curry.
Because that's always the best part of any Treasure Island story, should be like Jim.
Well, that's
Silver.
the heart of the story there.
And they do pretty okay with this. I mean, Tim Curry. You can't not like Tim Curry. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was like kind of weird that the energy kind of just drops a little after the first little bit. But like it's still a fun movie. Like I said, it's I guess Micah said it, but I agree. It's my second favorite Muppets movie I've seen.
Yeah, I would only give it 3.5, but it is definitely like just like one of those movies that I'm like, yeah, that's a really fun movie.
It's got some really inventive jokes. Some really good songs, as always, with especially the 90s Muppets, some really great puppets.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time.
It's actually kind of funny. The time I watched this before, like this last time, like before on the 17th or whatever.
Yeah.
I was at my cousin's house, and I was sleeping on the couch, and it was probably like 2, almost 3, and I turned it on.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think that is truly the best way to experience Muppets Treasure Island.
Early in the morning.
Very like not like early in the morning, but like very, very late. Because technically it was early, but that sounds like you get up early and watch it.
Get up at like 4 and watch it.
Which sounds lame.
Wow. Well, anyway, let's move on. On the 17th, we also watched Sullivan's Travels.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Gulliver's Travels.
Or Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, apparently.
Yeah. It was a 1941 movie about a director of all things.
A director wanting to experience the experiences
of life. Wow. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think films about filmmakers or filmmaking are always very interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's like it would be like a writer writing about writing a book.
Yeah. This was an interesting movie.
Yeah. I honestly went into it kind of blindish. I knew it was in the Criterion Collection. And like I knew it was on the Criterion Channel because it's on the Criterion Collection. And I didn't really know much about it other than that. But it was interesting.
I think it did a really good job with its point, like its message of its movie. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no, they handle that really well. But I mean, like that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I don't know. I feel like the comedy, if you could call it comedy in it, is really weird. Like especially towards the beginning of the movie, like with the bus thing.
Yeah. I don't know, like especially the first act of this is definitely a lot weirder than the second two.
I wasn't really into the first act of the movie, and it was all like very goofy in the first act, which was very
it was
weird.
A bunch of really fast dialogue and like them cracking jokes about movies and stuff, but like.
And then, like, especially, like, specifically, like, the third act of this movie.
Oh my gosh!
How depressing and dark it is, and
yeah, it's weird. It's a strange movie. It feels very like saga-esque. Like it's like this guy's in like entire journey.
Well, I think it was supposed to be an Odyssey essentially.
Yeah, it is essentially an Odyssey movie kind of thing.
But I don't know, it's very odd how it's like, I don't know, the theme, like the
I don't know what you're looking for here, Mike.
Dang, I just lost what I was gonna, like the word I was looking for, like the feel of the movie. In the different areas, the tone of the movies.
The mise en scène, like.
Yeah. Because, like, yeah, I don't know, I really was like, oh, this movie kind of sucks in the first act.
Yeah.
I really was just like, this is just another one of, like, stupid 40s comedy.
I definitely couldn't have taken an hour and a half of the first act of this.
But then, like, as it got into it, as it started to get more serious, and as it started to, like, actually be realistic-ish to its point that it was going for, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And, like, the way they built up to the whole, like, twist thing at the end, I really liked.
Yeah. No, I feel like you need to watch this movie, like, to get what we're saying, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense at the moment.
It's a little, it feels long for how long it actually is, I will say. Because it's 91 minutes.
I guess it feels long, but, like, it doesn't drag for me.
It doesn't feel like long in the sense that, like,
when will this be over?
Like, this is so long. It feels like, I don't know, I guess grand.
Exactly.
In a sense.
That's kind of what I was going for with the whole, like, Odyssey thing.
Yeah.
It feels large scale, even though it's only an hour and a half.
And
like, it feels like it could be a 3-hour epic kind of thing,
right? And it's just so weird, you know.
Yeah,
like I really enjoyed it, especially once we got into like the actual movie, and you got what's her face and all of that.
Yeah, I was about to say once the two of them get together, they have such good chemistry in this. It's a good time.
So yeah, I endorse this movie. Get through that first act.
Yeah, get through the first act and you're good to go.
It's really,
you're golden.
Yeah, it's really weird, but after that, it's not like really weird comedy the whole time. So
it's one of my favorite 40s movies now. I think it cracked. I don't know. Let me check my 40s list.
I don't know if it made my top 5 or anything.
90s, 20s, 10s, 70s, 50s.
Oh, no, it did make my top 5.
60s? Wait, where's my 40s list? Okay, never mind. It probably cracked my top 5.
My top 5 for the 40s is It's a Wonderful Life, The Red Shoes, Arsenic and Old Lace, The Maltese Falcon, and Sulliver's Travels. No, I remember it didn't because you put Double Indemnity above it, right?
Yeah, no, it did crack my top 5.
You just didn't have, yeah.
I have Late Spring, Brief Encounter, It's a Wonderful Life, Double Indemnity, and then Sullivan's Travels.
Where is The Red Shoes, Remy?
It's in number 9.
You put The Red Shoes below Fantasia?
Yes. Okay, well, we can discuss our 40s rankings later.
You put The Red Shoes under Fantasia.
Okay, I think that's a perfectly reasonable
ranking. No,
it's
not. Fantasia sucks.
Okay, well, anyway, let's move on.
I gave the next day 4 stars.
The next day, Micah.
The next day,
the 18th of March.
We watched Woof Walkers.
Woof woof. Been waiting since our Wolf Walkers episode to do it.
with one of my friends who hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. I'm glad we got to show her Wolf Walkers. It was one of, I think it was my favorite movie from last year.
Oh, it's sure. Definitely my favorite movie.
But I haven't
watched
Minari, so
yeah, we still have yet to see Minari. We'll probably do an episode on it or something when we finally watch it.
But man, Wolf Walkers is so good.
It is.
Like, just, I mean, we did a whole episode.
Yeah, we did a whole episode about it.
I doubt we're gonna go too in depth with it. But like the animation, the story. The characters,
yes.
The music,
yes.
The lighting,
the chemistry, Micah.
The wolf,
the wolves.
The way it uses its animation to tell the story with emotions.
It's so good. I think I would cite this as like animation masterclass, baby.
Right?
It's so good.
Like only a handful of movies actually do that. Like the thing that I like so much. One of the things I like so much about this movie, and like use the animation itself to like have a more rough 2D animation, and then use that animation itself to tell the emotions of the story. 'Cause, like, dang, like you have like. 'Cause, like, you have like. 'Cause, like, dang, like 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 you have like. 'Cause I don't know, that one Ghibli movie, The Tale of Princess Kaguya or whatever, and that kind of does it.
That's kind of similar, like kind of in the vein of what you're getting at, yeah.
But this, like, I don't know.
This is that, like, but so much better.
Right. Like, man. The aspect ratio changes are so good. Like, literally the best thing this movie has. I don't know. That sounds lame,
but yeah, go listen to our episode about it.
Yeah,
because we could talk about it forever, probably.
I give it 5 stars.
Also, I want to mention in my Letterboxd review, I simply stated that Merlin is an icon, and he is.
He is.
His character design is so good. It's so funny. I don't know why. Like, he's just like this compact little, like, blade of a bird.
Right.
It's weird.
He's a little falcon boy.
Little falcon boy, yes.
Next, we rewatched Gretel and Hansel, which we did not that long ago, actually. But again, this was with that same friend who had not seen this movie. And
I was about to say, we talked somewhat about it last episode.
Yeah.
Because we watched it last week.
Her favorite genre is actually horror movies, so, you know, we showed her one.
Yeah, I was about to say, we watched a horror movie. The end. There it is.
And, you know, this movie gets a pretty bad rep on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
It's got a 2.7 average.
I mean, that's higher than 2.5, I guess.
And, you know, it's not an amazing movie by any means.
No.
It's got a lot of problems.
It's got a lot of problems.
But man, it's just so fun.
It is a fun movie.
Like, this is just one of those movies that I'm not like crazy about, and I wouldn't like go around like
I wouldn't
like,
defend it.
You gotta watch Gretel and Hansel.
You gotta watch Gretel and Hansel.
And I wouldn't watch it like all the time.
No.
But like, you know, it's really fun.
I think like an annual viewing is probably sufficient to like, because it's an enjoyable movie. But like, if you watch it more than once a year, I don't know what's happening.
Like, I think the best instances of how to watch it are the 2 ways we watched it recently, either really late or with a friend.
Yeah. Dang, bro, this thing was like scary as heck when we watched it really late.
Really late. Nobody else like up.
I would hate to watch this like in the basement alone. I'd be like, this is kind of scary. Not gonna lie.
And it's actually interesting because our dad really didn't like this movie, and I didn't even think about it beforehand because I probably could have predicted that because I didn't think about the fact that this movie is like very slow in a sense.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Like very quote unquote atmospheric with how it does itself.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see why people wouldn't like it in that facet of being like, wow, this kind of is boring.
This kind of drags, man. Yeah.
But I don't know. I really enjoy it every time I've watched it so far. So I gave it 3.5.
Yeah. No, I had a good time as always. This was I guess it was the 3rd time watching it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good time. And then the next day, I want to say, yes, the next day, we watched Rashomon.
Which my
3rd Kurosawa film.
Yeah, Akira Kurosawa. And man, this was kind of disappointing.
It was very disappointing. For me anyway, because I absolutely adore Aikiru, and
I love
like
Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai is like fantastic.
Okay, but I really thought this was gonna be like a samurai movie. I didn't really know anything about it.
Yeah, neither did I.
But man, this movie is so slow and so not well paced. Like, I really hate to say that because, like, it's Kurosawa, and I don't, like, this movie has, like, a 4.2 average. I don't know what's up with that.
I mean, I would probably give it, like, a 3.5 or a 4. Probably.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
It's not, like, horrible, but, like, I couldn't imagine giving it 4.
The camera work and blocking in this are so fantastic.
No, you still have, like, a lot of the things that I like about Kurosawa in... Like Seven Samurai are in this movie. He still is like a good filmmaker. Yeah,
I was about to say like the actual composition, like blocking, choreography, that stuff. It's all really fantastic.
Yeah, no, like definitely in that stuff. That's great. But like the story itself and the characters just really didn't do it for me. Like I thought pretty much all of the characters in the story were annoying, even the people telling like the story.
I don't know about the like narrator, quote unquote narrators of the story. I don't know about them being annoying, but yeah, definitely the characters like of the story that they're telling are annoying. Yes.
Yeah, and even
to me, anyway.
And even like what's his face?
Who?
I don't remember how to pronounce his name. the really loud guy.
The angry guy.
Yeah, the bandit. Like, his character in Seven Samurai, because this guy is in like all of Kurosawa's movies, but his character in Seven Samurai is kind of similar-ish to his character.
Yeah, no, it's,
he's very loud.
It's pretty similar, yeah.
But I feel like he works pretty well in.
No, yeah, because everyone else in Seven Samurai is just like this really level-headed, like they're all like these really mature, level-headed people who are usually pretty quiet. Like it doesn't get over much of like a.
And then you have this guy who wants to be a samurai and wants to prove himself.
The contrast in that works really well, and they sprinkle him in scenes,
and they give him a great character arc.
Yeah, exactly. They give him a nice arc as well. So he's not like a thorn in your side while you're trying to watch Seven Samurai.
But in this, there is no character arcs for anyone.
Yeah, he's just kind of irritating in this.
And the lady too. Her screaming got on my nerves so much. There's so much yelling in this movie. And nothing happens.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not agreeing necessarily that nothing happens, but I'm agreeing that like movies with a bunch of like yelling and screaming and stuff in them just drive me crazy. And that was not a good point for this movie because there is a lot of yelling and screaming in it.
But I don't know. I really don't think you could say much happens in this movie because it's literally just the same thing told different ways, like 4 times.
I mean, yeah, but that's not necessarily a problem.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it in an interesting way. So, like, where some movie, like, maybe something in the vein of, like, a Knives Out style movie will show you something and then tell you something and then tell you it again from 3 different perspectives. Mm-hmm. You have your base movie perspective, Marta's perspective, and Ransom's perspective of the events, right?
Yeah.
And even like when they're interviewing the different family members, you get all of these different perspectives, but you have it in a very clean stated interview sense.
Well, yeah.
They're asking questions specifically. They're going to a specific point. It's somebody telling the story in the sense of, hey, here's how it happened, like very definitely.
But I mean, the intention of this movie isn't to be you're questioning how it happened kind of thing. That's not the point of the movie.
Well, I know it's not the point,
which is why it's not like focused on more to be more efficiently delivered that way.
But because they have this happening, you're watching essentially the same thing with slight details changed every time, just to nail home a point.
Yeah.
Not even a mystery. Like it says mystery in the categories in here, but it's not.
Not really. I mean, it is technically a mystery, but it doesn't feel like it's not a mystery movie.
Like it's so focused on like everybody is terrible that it just makes for a really not enjoyable experience to watch for the most part.
I mean, yeah, this is definitely the most preachy I've seen Kurosawa, and like Aikiru is definitely preachy, but not in the same way as this.
And I was really, really sad because I love Seven Samurai, and I really want to watch and like other Kurosawa movies.
Yeah.
Like especially his samurai movies, those look like really up my alley for movies, and I really want to watch those. And like, this was just not it. This was, I don't know, like, and like I said, I really like Kurosawa's like direction and the way he films stuff and everything. And I even like some of the atmospheric moments of this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
But like the actual meat of the story I really don't like, and I don't even think it's a very efficient way to get the point that they were trying to give across.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is like I said, this is definitely his most preachy I've seen him at, which I assumed he probably did get more preachy in his career. Because, like I said, Aikiru, if not for the emotional anchor it gives you, it would literally just be like, don't waste your life, kids. That would be the entire movie. Screaming it at your face kind of thing.
Akira is quite a bit later in his career. It's 12 years later.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely a lot more unrefined than the other 2 movies I've seen.
Yeah, at the moment, it's the earliest one of his that I'm looking at.
I mean, you can sort his filmography by release date.
That's true.
See what his first one was.
Yeah, I wonder what. Yeah, well, it was practically like he had done a couple stuff.
Okay,
before,
so this is pretty early on in his career.
This was his first like big movie.
That makes sense then. Yeah, because you can definitely tell it's a bit more unrefined than something like Aikiru or Seven Samurai.
Yeah, quite a bit later he did Aikiru. Seven Samurai.
Dang, Micah, you still haven't seen Aikiru.
And then,
you need to watch Aikiru.
And then, like, we get to the ones that I want to watch. It's like Throne of Blood, Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Yeah, we could probably do a whole episode on Rashomon, because it is a very interesting movie from, like, a narrative structuring standpoint.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I gave it 3.5 stars because I still think the filmmaking is pretty solid.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, blocking, camera work, choreography, it's all fantastic in this, but just about everything else I have quite a few problems with. But yeah, and then that very same night, we watched, for the very first time, as promised in the intro, The Matrix.
Yeah.
1999, baby.
And by the way, Wesley. I don't know if he ever listens to the podcast. But he was on the podcast once.
Yeah, long-time fans might know Wesley Gramley.
And he has been trying to get me to watch this movie for like 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
And he, like, a while back, gave me his DVD and was like, don't give it back
until you've seen The Matrix.
So Wesley, if you hear this, yeah, we gotta get together sometime so I can give you your Matrix copy back.
Yeah, and Micah had Wesley pushing him to watch this. Yossi, one of my internet friends, you might say, has been trying to, ever since he heard that I didn't really watch R-rated movies. He was like, "What? You mean you haven't seen The Matrix?" And I'm like, "Yes, that means I haven't seen The Matrix."
This totally makes sense for Yossi loving this.
And then he was like, "Dude, you have to watch it." I'm like, "Okay, I will at some point, but it's still rated R. It's gonna be a while probably." But now I finally watched it, so Yossi and Wesley can rest peacefully tonight.
This makes a lot of sense for Yossi liking it, like, thinking about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was about to say,
yeah,
this is like right up Yossi's alley.
But man, this is right up my alley.
This is right up my alley too. I adore Speed Racer, and it's the same directors.
Right.
So.
This was so good. I would say I liked it better than Speed Racer. Obviously, Speed Racer I would actually call a little bit more stylized than this movie. If people who haven't watched the Speed Racer can believe it.
It is more stylized, yes.
And I think that's fun about Speed Racer specifically. Like,
Speed Racer's such a fun
comparatively
movie.
To this.
Yeah.
They get to have a little bit more fun with it. But man, this movie is really, really good.
This movie has a fan-flippin-tastic screenplay.
Like, all of the characters are enjoyable and interesting. There's good character arcs.
The world building.
The world building is darn good.
The world building is insane.
The score is good. Dude, I love the way this movie is filmed.
The VFX still look great.
Like, I love the cinematography in this so much, and like I love to, like, it's so random, but I love the shots with Morpheus's glasses so much when they use them to frame up stuff. I love that so much.
That's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't really know what to, like, fully expect from this movie, because, like, I knew the plot of the movie, but, like, movie-wise, I didn't know what to expect, especially from these directors.
Yeah, I didn't really know anything about, like, the plot of The Matrix other than obviously the pill scene. Like, I knew basically everything that happened up till he takes the pill, obviously.
Wow.
But, like, outside of that, I was going in completely blind to this, and it was really good.
Yeah, no.
It's really, really good.
Man, I feel like it's one of those movies I'm gonna have a hard time talking about.
We need to do an episode on this bad boy, so I can truly dissect it.
So I can sit there and be like, well, it's good.
Well, it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I had this thought while watching it, and Robbie said he disagreed, but I don't know. I kind of feel like a lot of DCEU movies are really just trying to capture the vibe of this movie.
I don't know, man.
Didn't turn your phone
Okay,
on
I didn't silence my phone. Sorry, guys. You had to hear one notification. I don't know. I got one notification.
I don't know. Maybe it's just Zack Snyder for me. It feels like he's, like, doing this but worse.
I guess I could. That makes more. I would agree more with that than the whole DCEU trying to imitate the Matrix's feel.
But like Zack Snyder with his like darker film like style and like slow motion and the way he does action and everything, I feel like this is that from what I've seen. I haven't seen like a ton of Zack Snyder movies, obviously.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen like some of what are considered his best, but I've like from like Sucker Punch and just various things of like seeing his action and the way he does that. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's just trying to be this, but this is way cooler.
But this is way cool. Yeah, I was actually thinking about making a list on Letterboxd of like cool movies, like Ocean's 11, and put this on there too.
Just like
just movies that are cool.
Just put like dude bro movies ready.
I mean, not necessarily all cool movies are dude bro movies.
No, yeah, but just those two.
Yeah, those two, yeah. Also, wanted to shout out Hugo Weaving. He looks like he's having a great time in this movie.
Hugo Weaving, man. Love that guy. And he goes like 110 in this movie. It's great. Yeah. I get why they brought him back like a ton in the other movies.
Oh yeah, no, I would like basically the only reason, like obviously I liked this movie, but like the main reason I'd want to watch like any of the sequels is because he would be in them.
Right? Like, I don't know, I feel like sequels to this movie would be very weird.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you know, I've heard a lot of complaints about it. Like, you'd lose a lot of like the energy that this movie has and just be like, oh, well, here's a bunch of continuation plot.
Here's the next thing that happens, I guess.
Yeah, because this has like insane energy going throughout it for most of it.
Yeah.
I'd say the only thing, because I was trying to think about this, the only thing I could say that I dislike about The Matrix, and it's only slightly, is I don't like how underdeveloped the quote-unquote romance between Neo and Trinity is.
Yeah, it's not... I was going to bring that up, actually, if we ever talked about it, like, on the podcast. Like, that's honestly my least favorite aspect of this.
Yeah.
But, like...
It feels just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, it's there for a reason... narrative wise,
but I'm saying,
it's
like,
not. Yeah, it doesn't
writing
feel.
Standpoint,
it feels inserted.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like they had any moments of chemistry in the movie. Like before, she's like, "I love you, Neo."
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe it'll be a bit less weird on a second watch, but yeah.
But that's the only thing I could think of that.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the like mole plot line in this.
I think they did a good job.
It's fine. Yeah, I was about to say it's one of my. It's one of the better mole subplot things I've seen.
Conceptually, it works really well.
Conceptually,
with the Matrix.
Conceptually, yes, and thematically, it blends really well with the Matrix stuff. Like, obviously, that's not as big of a complaint, but I just I'm not a big fan of moles. You know.
Yeah.
I would never write one into my movie.
But yeah, I gave the movie 5 stars, actually.
Wow.
It's really the only thing I could think of that I disliked about it while watching it, especially was just Trinity and Neo getting together like too fast.
So, bro, I sat down the other day and I rested my hand on my stomach. Like I was leaning back like that, you know. You can't see what I'm doing, but but like I accidentally touched my belly button and thought about the Matrix. No. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to die.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm never laying down again.
The Matrix was creepier than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah, no, it feels a lot more sinister than I expected.
Yeah, I liked that. Like aesthetically, it was a lot darker than I thought we would be going into it.
But yeah, no, really good stuff. I don't know if I like it as much as Speed Racer. I definitely think it's better.
I like it more than
Speed Racer is a bit lacking in the writing department.
Yeah,
but
go watch Speed Racer. It's really fun.
I think I might like Speed Racer a bit better than this. Just because I really love racing. I'm more of a racing guy than I am a video game guy. So
wait. What about racing video games, Robbie?
That's the golden in between, Micah.
Okay, well on the 20th, I watched something without you. I watched The Princess Diaries. With Haley.
Good time.
It's always a fun time.
It's always a good time.
I don't have too much to say.
We don't even have to try, Mike.
It's like, it's The Princess Diaries. It's not like groundbreaking cinema.
It's the only Anne Hathaway movie I like.
It's not groundbreaking cinema. It's just, it's fun. It's funny. It's not aggressively bad in any way, but it's not aggressively good in any way.
Yeah, it's not winning any awards.
But yeah, it's a very 3-star movie in my opinion.
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing.
That's like that's like the perfect rating for it is a 3.
But yeah, always a fun time.
Heck yeah. And then I don't know if you logged this.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, did you not watch it? Oh, well.
I wasn't there. I came in for the last little bit of it.
I just remembered you being there for the ending. But yeah, I watched, or rather rewatched, A Town Called Panic, which is very good. I think you were getting a shower?
Oh no. It was the day you were editing. We all went to the park.
Oh no, but you guys were already back. Like I didn't start. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Dang. I did take a shower.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I thought. Okay, but anyway, it doesn't matter. 2009 movie called A Town Called Panic, or Panique au Village, if you are French.
Oh, you sure you didn't do the other French movie with its French title?
What other French movie?
Long Way North. He didn't say its French title.
Well, I didn't see the French title underneath it. What is it? Tout un hat d'un monde. Sounds more like Swedish or something. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It might be. I think it is my favorite French movie. It's like a stop motion comedy. Yeah, it's like a surreal comedy almost. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe it.
Yeah,
I don't know how would you describe
A Town Called Panic is. Yeah, surreal comedy.
Yeah, it's like a stop motion surreal comedy, almost like something you'd see on like Adult Swim. Or something
it's
like
very just like it's very conceptually odd.
Yeah,
it's got in it, but then it sticks with that. Like it does like this really weird thing, and then it just like it
that's
builds
the universe.
its entire world around this very weird. Character relationship.
It's about a cow. It's about a cowboy, an Indian, and a horse that live in the same like shared home.
Right, and they're all like these little figures.
Yeah, they're all. It's stop motion with little like figurines, like little action figure things with the little platforms on the bottom of their feet. Yeah, it's really good. Like I cannot stress how good it is.
I didn't watch it this time. I'm not a huge fan of it, but like it's a lot of fun. I think it's got some pacing problems, but again, I didn't watch it a second time.
Yeah, on the rewatch, like yes, on the first watch, I would have totally agreed with you that it had some pacing issues.
I don't find all of the comedy that funny.
But like second time, like almost all the jokes hit. And I never once was bored while watching it, so
I was not on the floor laughing then, and I am not on the floor laughing now.
But yeah, no, I cannot recommend to you enough A Town Called Panic. It's in my top 20 films as of now. It's really good. Yeah, go watch it.
It's okay.
It's on Amazon Prime at the moment.
It's a fine movie.
You can watch it Tubi, Vudu, anywhere really. It's free a lot of places.
And then last night we watched the legendary, the one and only,
the legendary,
the SpongeBob.
I guess it is kind of legendary, actually.
It is legendary.
Yeah. Dang. The legend of a sponge.
The legend of the SpongeBob.
The legend of the SpongeBob. Yes. Yeah, we watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Always a fun time.
2004 one, not Sponge Out of Water or Sponge on the Run, which we haven't seen Sponge on the Run yet. I very much want to see how it is.
This movie is just like, it's so classic.
Yeah.
We didn't even grow up with it, but it's so classic.
I was about to say, I watched this for the first time like a year ago, or a little over a year ago.
And somehow it's still like so, like it feels
classic,
like
man.
just like a classic movie that I've always, like, it feels like a movie I've always seen, even though I haven't.
Yeah, I was about to say, we hadn't even seen like a full like season of SpongeBob until like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And the SpongeBob, especially the first 3 seasons in this, are all so fantastic.
Yeah, and I've vlogged this movie 8 times now on Letterboxd.
8 times? Oh, well, I guess I've vlogged it 6 times. So.
Like, I don't know. This is just such a fun movie to turn on, and that's most of the time I would just turn it on randomly. and that's how I got like it logged more times than you. But like it's so short and sweet, and
it's a short little movie with a lot of really funny like stuff in it. Like it's good.
I will say tone wise, it is a lot different than the first 3 seasons of the show, and I didn't notice that until I started like thinking about it on this last watch. I was like, this really is tonally different.
It's pretty strikingly different from the first 3 seasons.
Its jokes are even a lot different than what you would normally get, and like SpongeBob himself is different, and I see what people mean, like that this changed things a lot.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. In the context of SpongeBob as a like franchise kind of thing, this was definitely a changing point for the style and tone of the show.
And unfortunately, I don't think that was a good thing.
No, it wasn't for the better.
I think the movie is great.
The first 3 seasons are like I would consider some of the best seasons of like animated, especially television I've seen. They're really good.
The 4th season's fine.
The 4th season's
some good
fine.
episodes.
Yeah,
and then the 5th season.
Oh man, the 5th season is downright painful.
The 5th season was horrible.
Yeah,
we haven't even watched the 6th season.
I didn't want to bother with the rest of it, man.
I don't know.
It falls off hard in the 5th season.
But we've rewatched seasons 1 through 3 and some of 4 quite a bit.
Yeah. I could probably like if you pull up an episode, I could probably tell you exactly what happens in the entire thing.
So yeah, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie is pretty darn good.
It's pretty great. I think its 3.7 average is like probably exactly where it should be.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5. So,
but yeah, it's a good time.
The characters are fun, like the new characters, the locations. Tone and comedy is different from the show, but it's still really funny.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just different.
I just don't think it could work as a lasting show.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's just a really fun movie.
Yeah. It's interesting that like most of the show creative team worked on this movie, because a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot of the time, but like a lot of high profile TV movies don't get the same crew, especially not the same director a lot of the time as the show. And it's just interesting that this one like has almost all of the original like creators and storyboard artists and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't know why it's so like different. I wonder how it all went down, like writing wise.
It's so weird. Like, yeah, because it definitely is very different from even like the later stuff in season 3.
Yeah,
which I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but it's really good.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that was
what we watched. That was last night that we watched that.
It was a good time. We had a good week. Watched The Matrix for the first time. Rewatched like Wolfwalkers and stuff. A lot of good movies. We'll probably end up doing an episode on The Matrix sometimes. Yeah. Or sometime.
We almost thought about doing it today, but we just didn't have time to want to like rewatch it. Like
I was about to say by the time we hadn't planned anything on Sunday. And I really honestly would want to rewatch The Matrix like 2 more times, honestly, before I had a set.
There's a lot to unpack in The Matrix.
Yeah, there's a lot like thematically and like a lot of technical stuff that we probably missed on a first viewing. I'd want to watch it a few more times. Otherwise, this probably would have been a Matrix episode.
Yeah.
Because we really liked it. So.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want to shout out or anything before we wrap it up completely? Like just anything in particular that you did of note that you want to...
Over the past like week or so, I think I might have mentioned this last episode, but I've been working on filling up my stats page on Letterboxd, like with all-time favorites, decade favorite lists, that sort of thing. And if you are interested in at all my opinions on movies, you should go check out my Letterboxd stats page, because it has a lot of really cool statistics.
There you go.
It's just Robbie. It's letterboxd.com/Robbie Grawey /stats. It's really easy to find.
And that's a Grawey, not Grawey.
Not Graeyway.
How did you just spell gray?
Is it EA?
Graey? How do you spell?
EA. I don't know. I don't know how to spell
Gray.
gray.
Can be spelled A-Y or E-Y, but not both. Depends if you're doing like the name Gray or like Gray.
Oh,
the
that's
color.
true. Yeah. But anyway, yes. Especially for this audience, that would be the thing to check out that I've been working on recently.
Yeah, and my thing of note that I wanted to shout out is on my channel, Grawey Films, I put out a farewell video. How many days ago was that? That was like 3 days ago.
It was like 3 days ago.
So yeah, 3 days ago I put out a farewell video. Go check that out. It's performing pretty well actually, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, go watch that.
Yeah.
Get me up to 80 subscribers because I'm at 79 right now.
Aren't you trying to reach 100?
Yeah, I am, but still, like 80 would be nice.
Wow.
And when I hit 100, just for all you people out there, I am doing a 100 subscriber giveaway of a DVD with a custom art cover.
Micah, it's just going to be like 5 years from now, you're finally going to hit 100 and you'll still be shouting out the giveaway at the end of every video you've done.
Dang.
That would be pretty funny.
I've gained a pretty steady amount of subscribers.
No, I'm not saying 5 years is probably a bit outrageous, but like if you left an account dormant and it only had like one video, it would probably get 100 subscribers after 5 years.
Right, I don't know. My one channel that I did before this, my gaming channel, gained like 30 of its subscribers after I stopped uploading.
I was about to say, like, just because you're done uploading doesn't mean you're done gaining subscribers. So I'm just
dang, yeah. It's so sad that like that channel has videos with over 4,000 views. It doesn't deserve it.
But yeah. Anyway, go watch the farewell video that Micah did.
Go check out Robbie's Letterboxd.
Yeah, go check out my Letterboxd page if you want to. And go watch A Town Called Panic. That's your assignment for the week.
No, you cannot do that.
What is your assignment for the week?
There are other movies. Go watch my video and let's see. Go watch like The Matrix. Go watch Wolfwalkers. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.